It's TeresaYGreen from Slow Paths Wellness, and it's another Mindful Monday. Today I'm going to go back to the basics of Mindful Monday, and we're going to do just an exercise on savoring, it's meditating on positive experiences with the idea of getting them deep into your nervous system so that your nervous system becomes trained to look for positive things. A lot of the things I do are based on things I've learned from Dr. Rick Hansen, who does a great deal of meditation work as part of his practice. And today we're not going to do a lot of the theory. I'm not going to talk a lot about that. We're basically just going to do the exercise of savoring. But just so you have some idea of kind of what you will be gaining from doing this, by doing savoring, it gets you much more frequently out of a fight or flight reaction so that you spend more time in what they call rest and digest, which is the parasympathetic nervous system response. And that's where things like really healthy digestion, good sleep, calm thoughts, and not making chemicals that cause inflammation and pain, that's where that kind of thing happens. So for the savoring exercise we're going to do today, first get comfortable. You can be laying on a bed, you can be standing, you can be sitting in a chair, you can be sitting on the ground if you're used to sitting cross-legged or in some way where you're comfortable on the ground. I like it best if you're able to sit so that your back is straight, or lay so your back is straight so you're not slumped over or something like that, because that helps the way that your nervous system works. But if you feel like you need support for your back, then sit so that you're leaning back, but in a way that things are pretty lined up and straight. Now, go ahead and just take a few breaths. They don't have to be super deep breaths, because sometimes if you're not used to that, that can actually cause a little bit of an anxiety kind of response in some people. But just normal breaths. But as you're taking them, do picture them going down, and not where you're really working for it, but where just kind of you breathe in. And it goes down just a little bit down towards at least around the bottom of your rib cage, even down below that, below your navel is also great if you're able to do it comfortably. So just take 2 or 3 breaths like that. And as you do, just kind of check in with yourself a little bit. Sort of feel your body. Focus a little bit on, there's my feel your hands, feel your skin. If you rub your fingers together, feel how that feels. Kind of get yourself grounded out of your mind into your body. Feel your weight, whether you're sitting on a chair or laying on a bed or on the floor or standing up. Just kind of feel where you're making contact with another surface and it's supporting you and holding you up. And just continue taking those breaths. And when you're ready, close your eyes and I will talk you through a mindfulness exercise for savoring good things. All right, so now we want to choose something that doesn't have a huge emotional charge. So don't choose something that has a lot of emotion with it, either good or bad. But if you pick something that someone you love and something has happened to them recently, well, that will be kind of an unclear message to your nervous system. So pick something simple that's also pleasant. It could be a wonderful bite of chocolate cake, or just to have the light shines on a beautiful sunrise in the country, or your dog laying his head on your leg, or an apple that is perfectly crisp and exactly how you want it to be. Just choose something like that is a very pleasant and very sense-oriented experience, something you feel in your 5 senses very clearly. It could be, if you're a musician, when you play something that's just hauntingly beautiful, or you hear a musician playing something that's hauntingly beautiful and you really know how it sounds because you're going to be imagining it. So I'll sit here for about 3 or 5 seconds. You can pick something, and just pick one thing for right now. We're not going to try to blend a whole lot of different things. Just pick one very pleasant, very simple thing that you can focus on, and we can work on helping your nervous system really experience the pleasantness of that. All right, now close your eyes and really get into that pleasant sensation. If it's a taste of something, picture how it feels in your mouth. Picture how it feels in your taste buds. Make it as close to real as possible, so that if you can imagine that you're actually doing that. You're actually taking in the food, and you can imagine if there's this area around you feels really nice. So let's say like you're outside and you're eating something and you can feel a pleasant temperature around you. Or if you're seeing something very beautiful, I want you to picture it in your mind so strongly that when you open your eyes, you'll be a little surprised if it's not in front of you. If you're something more like a relationship thing, like with a pet or with a small child or someone that you feel completely positive towards, just the way that feels, that connection, I want you to just to really deeply sense that. And now let's sit with that. Let's just imagine everything about it. Picture every single tactile part. What do you hear in this very pleasant situation? What do you smell in this very pleasant situation? What do you see? What do you feel? What do you taste? And imagine that you're going to memorize this, that you're putting it so deeply into your brain and into your nervous system and even into your hands and your ears and your eyes and your nose and your taste buds, that you can pull it up at any time. You just want to really memorize that sensation. You're not going to try to describe it, not trying to do anything, but just memorizing the sensation. What does your very pleasant memory feel like? What are the sounds around it? What are the sights? What do you see around this when you're having this pleasant memory? What is this vision things that you associate with it? What do you smell while you're in the middle of this very pleasant memory? It can be crisp air, it can be a loved one's perfume, it can be the wood stoves burning, if you're looking at snow falling, whatever it is that's your very pleasant memory. What are the other senses that go around it? What are the tactile things? Are you standing with the breeze blowing on you? Are you sitting with a quilt around you? Are you holding a metallic eating instrument like a fork or spoon or something? What are the very tactile, very visceral, very nervous system oriented sensations that you have with this pleasant memory? So just for several seconds, just continue that. Feel it deeply, deeply inserted into your nervous system, into your memory. And now, just while you're doing that, just continue to take those breaths that are comfortably deep, and we'll do that for about 5 breaths, and you can just really work on having it just sink kind of into the deepest part of you, this very pleasant experience that you had, and now you're having again in your mind. Now, just one more really quick kind of sinking into that really pleasant sensation, and now come out of it. Open your eyes and notice how you feel now that your nervous system has been bathed in a really pleasant sensation, a really pleasant experience. And come back to this video, and you can pick other pleasant experiences, and just try doing it once a day or at least a few times a week. And as you do that, you're teaching your body, you're teaching your brain, teaching your nervous system, teaching your senses even, to notice the positive things. It'll make you more likely, if you touch something, a surface of something, it'll make you more likely to have your brain notice, oh, that feels nice, instead of, oh, that's rough. Each time you do something where you're helping yourself focus on the positive, pleasant, enjoyable parts of something, you're training your nervous system to look for those first. And since what happens in problems like anxiety or depression or even just pain management, is your nervous system has been trained to look for what's wrong. It gets more of a focus. Not to say that pain isn't valid or emotions are not valid. They definitely are. They need to be felt and they need to be processed. But when you have trained your brain unintentionally to focus primarily on those, you end up missing out on the positive things that are happening as well. And if you instead train yourself to focus on those positive sensations, your nervous system gets a sense of peace. And as it gets that sense of peace, every single thing involved in health, whether that is hormonally related, digestively related, cardiovascular system, all of those things get healthier and work better. So this has been a savoring exercise. I invite you to try it multiple times whenever you want to. Just come back to this exercise. And thank you for joining me for Mindful Monday. Have a good day.